Imagine walking into a library and instead of silence, you're greeted by a cacophony of voices, each book eager to share its story. Interesting, isn't it? Today, we're exploring a hypothetical world where books can move and talk. In this alternate reality, each book is not just a static collection of printed words on paper, but a dynamic entity with its own voice and animation. Picture this, your favorite mystery novel suddenly springing to life, the detective narrating his own adventures, and the villains cackling menacingly from the pages. Or imagine a history book where the past is not just recounted, but vividly enacted by the characters themselves. Now let's consider the impact on education. Textbooks would not just be repositories of information, but active participants in the learning process. From the Pythagorean theorem to the French Revolution, each concept would be explained directly by the book, making learning more interactive and engaging. The wisdom of the ages would not just be passively absorbed, but actively communicated, creating a whole new dimension to the education system. On to entertainment. The world of literature would transform from a solitary activity into a shared experience. Novels would not just be read but heard and interacted with, creating a multi-sensory journey through the narrative. The line between the reader and the story would blur, making each reading experience unique and personal. And finally, imagine the implications on our daily lives. Morning newspapers would not just update us on the latest news but discuss it with us. Cookbooks would guide us step by step through recipes. Even the humble instruction manual would patiently explain how to assemble that tricky piece of furniture. So grab a cup of tea and brace yourself as we delve into this fascinating world of talking books. The possibilities are endless, the implications profound, and the journey undeniably intriguing. As we embark on this exploration, let's remember that the power of books is not just in the words they contain, but in the stories they tell and the worlds they create. Scene script. First off, let's consider the potential impact on education. Imagine a world where books are no longer static, but interactive learning tools. Now picture this. Instead of silently reading a textbook, it reads itself to you, explaining complex concepts with the patience and clarity of a dedicated tutor. It answers your queries, provides examples, and even quizzes you on what you've learned. It's not just a book, it's a personalized learning companion. Books that could move and talk could revolutionize education as we know it. Each book could provide a unique, engaging learning experience tailored to the reader's pace and understanding. Difficult subjects might become more accessible as books explain and re-explain concepts until they're understood. And imagine the benefits for students with learning difficulties or those who learn best through auditory means. This could be a game changer. But of course, every rose has its thorns. These talking books could also present challenges. For instance, the risk of information overload is real. With books able to provide so much detail and context, it may be overwhelming for some. And while the interactive nature of these books could make learning more engaging, it could also lead to dependence on technology for understanding and comprehension. There's also the potential issue of books becoming too personalized. If every book caters to our individual preferences, could we lose the ability to engage with challenging or unfamiliar ideas? And what about the sheer joy of interpreting a text in our own unique way? There's a certain magic in the silent conversation between a reader and a book that we wouldn't want to lose. But on balance, the potential benefits seem to outweigh the challenges. Talking books could democratize education, making knowledge more accessible and learning more enjoyable. They could help level the playing field, giving every student the chance to learn at their own pace, in their own way. In such a world, learning might become an adventure, with each book a knowledgeable companion. Now, let's shift our focus to entertainment. Imagine your favorite novels interacting with you, adding a whole new dimension to storytelling. What a fantastical thought, isn't it? This is not just about books talking to us, but also about them moving, acting, and becoming an integral part of the narrative. It's akin to merging the charm of a good read with the dynamism of theater. A thrilling prospect indeed. Consider this. You're engrossed in a gripping mystery novel, and suddenly, the characters spring to life, acting out the plot twists and turns. The protagonist, with his furrowed brow, probing eyes and determined stance, is right there, sharing his thoughts, fears, and hopes. The antagonist, with his menacing grin and cunning eyes, is just as real, plotting his next move. The lines between reality and fiction blur, making you a part of the story, not just a bystander. This level of immersion could herald a seismic shift in our understanding of literature and the arts. The static pages of a book would transform into dynamic stages, where characters are no longer confined to the written word, but are free to express, emote, and engage. This could redefine the very essence of storytelling, making it a deeply personal and interactive experience. Imagine classic literature coming alive in this way. Picture Romeo expressing his undying love for Juliet in your living room, or Sherlock Holmes cracking a case right on your coffee table. How about Moby Dick, the great white whale, splashing around in your bathtub? The possibilities are endless and incredibly exciting. But it's not just about the classics. Contemporary literature, too, would benefit from this new form of storytelling. Imagine the worlds of science fiction, fantasy, and horror becoming more vivid and tangible. The thrill of a chase, the awe of a magical realm, the chill of a haunted house. All these could be experienced in a way never before possible. In this scenario, every book could become a living theater, making stories more vibrant and engaging. But what about our daily lives? How would they change if our books could communicate with us? Visualize waking up to the sound of your favorite novel gently reading the morning news to you. The characters in your book, with their unique voices and personalities, bring the news to life, making your morning cup of tea a touch more interesting. Imagine your cookbook not just showing you the recipe, but telling you step by step in real time how to whip up that perfect soufflé. Or perhaps your fitness book motivating you with personalized workout routines and giving you real-time feedback on your form. The daily commute to work could transform into an immersive experience as your favorite detective novel unravels its mysteries with every mile you cover. And what about those bedtime stories? Your children's storybooks could transport them to magical realms with their vivid narrations, making bedtime an adventure. But with every rose comes its thorn. In a world buzzing with talking books, noise pollution could be a real concern. Libraries, once a haven of silence, could turn into a cacophony of voices, each book vying for attention. Privacy could also become an issue. With books having the ability to talk and possibly listen, the sanctity of our thoughts and conversations could be at risk. Imagine discussing a surprise birthday party only to have your party planning book spill the beans. Moreover, the joy of silently immersing oneself into the written word, that intimate bond between the reader and the book, could be lost in the chatter. The beauty of interpreting the text in our own unique way, giving our own voice to the characters, could be overshadowed by the predefined tones and voices of the talking books. Yet, these challenges are but a part of the evolution process. As with any new technology, we would find ways to adapt and make it work for us, just as we have done throughout history. Our homes, our routines, our very lives could be dramatically different in a world of talking books. So we've explored a world where books can move and talk, and it's clear that such a world would be incredibly different from our own. Let's take a moment to recap the extraordinary journey we've been on. We've delved into the profound impact this would have on education. Imagine classrooms where textbooks walk students through complex concepts, where pupils engage in lively debates with historical figures right from their biographies. It's a dynamic shift that could revolutionize learning, making it more interactive and immersive. Yet it's not without its challenges. Would we still need teachers, or would they be replaced by these animated books? Then we ventured into the realm of entertainment. Pictures settling down with a murder mystery that not only narrates the tale, but also acts out the suspense, or a fantasy novel where dragons fly off the pages. The boundaries between reality and fiction would blur, creating an unparalleled entertainment experience. However, could this lead to an overdependence on books for amusement, potentially stunting our imaginative capabilities? We also explored the day-to-day implications of living with chatty books. They could offer companionship, advice, even cookery tips right from the recipe books. But would there be privacy concerns? Could a diary spill its secrets without discretion? Or a self-help book offering unsolicited advice? It's a balance we'd have to strike. This hypothetical world is a double-edged sword filled with both exciting possibilities and potential pitfalls. It could profoundly change our relationship with books, influencing how we learn, how we're entertained, and how we live our day-to-day lives. It's a concept that invites us to challenge our perceptions of what books are and can be. Whether this world of talking books would be a utopia or a dystopia, it's certainly a fascinating concept to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this imaginative journey. Until next time, keep questioning, keep imagining, and keep exploring.